Okay, in this video we will go over how to fill out the Corstone daily reports. Every day at the end of your workday you're going to fill out a daily report for your job. We're going to start by taking some photos with our phone. So if we turn our phone on here and go to our home screen, you should have the camera icon on your front screen. If you don't have your camera on your front screen, you can swipe to the right and find it in your list of apps here on the side. So we're going to open our camera. I'm just going to take a handful of photos here of my desk area. We want to make sure we're selecting this camera icon that's over on the right hand side. Just going to take a photo there, take a photo there, take another photo here, and I'm going to take one more. Okay, great. Now that we have our 4 photos, we can go back to our home screen. And we're going to go to the Photos icon. This is going to list all of the photos that are on our phone. So if we tap the icon at the bottom of the screen with the circle and the little check marks and the line, that's going to put a red box around every photo. If you go and then tap on each photo that you'd like to use for your report, it's going to put a check mark in that photos box. Once you have all your photos selected, we can now hit the share button, which is in the bottom left hand screen. It's the circle with the 3 little icons there circling around. It's going to pop open a menu here. Choose where you want to share these photos. We're going to select the top option, which is Corstone, the red icon with the E. That is for our email. So we select that icon there. It's going to pop open and generate all of our photos inside of our email. Now you can go ahead and email it to yourself. I'm going to send it to me. It will auto-populate everyone in the company there, so I'm just going to select me because I'm at the top. You will select you, clearly. And then at the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little circle with an envelope with 3 little lines coming out. That is the send button. So go ahead and select that. It's going to ask you that you're missing a subject. Would you still like to send it? Yep, we can go ahead and send it anyways. We don't care about putting a subject in this email. We just want the pictures. So now that you have taken and sent yourself your email photos, we can put the phone down. Now, next we're going to go to our email. So go ahead and open your Outlook on your computer. And look, there we go. There's our email that we just sent to ourselves with our photos. So if we go and select the first photo here, it's going to highlight it blue. You can hold the Shift button on your keyboard and then select the last picture in the email. It's going to highlight all of them. Once you get all of them highlighted, you can right click with your mouse or your trackpad to bring up this menu. And we're going to click Save All Attachments. It's going to pop this menu open and it's going to show you all of the files that you have highlighted, and that's great. So we're just going to click OK. It's going to pop open a next menu here. It's going to ask us to choose a place in our computer where we want to save these photos. So I'm going to scroll down here on the side and I'm going to go to my pictures. And if you don't have one already, we're going to make a folder called Daily Pics. But just to show you, if you don't have one already, you can go up here and click New Folder. And let's name it Daily Pics. You can hit enter after you type. It's going to tell me I already have one in there, so I'm going to call it something else. I'm going to call this Pictures, just for this example. Now that we have our folder created, we can double click on it and open it up. Now we know that we're inside that folder, and I'm going to make a new folder and name it Today's Date. 3/2/16, enter. Now I can double click on that icon and go inside of that folder. Now this is the location I want to save my pictures. You can see up at the top here we're in Libraries, Pictures, the new folder I made Pictures. For you it will say Daily Pics, and then the date. So now I'm going to click OK, and it's going to save all 4 of those photos in that location. Now that I've taken my photos with my phone, emailed them to myself, saved them to my computer, now we can actually go and fill out our daily report. So if you go to the bottom of your computer at the taskbar, you'll see an icon here. It's got a white envelope with a little green arrow. Go ahead and click on that. and as long as your computer is connected to the internet via your jetpack, your daily report will pop open. The daily report is on the internet. It is not a piece of software on your computer, so you do need to have internet access to fill this out. And it will say your name at the top here instead of mine. And we're just going to start going through this report and filling it out. So we want to put in today's date. It will autofill to the yellow icon is today. And you can get that by popping open this little calendar icon. So we'll put in today's date, customer turnover date. That is the date that we need to turn this project over to the owner. That is not our completion date, that is just the turnover date. And this can change throughout the duration of the job. So again, go ahead and click on this icon here. And if you need to change the date, you can go up to the top here, do a little drop down menu. Let's say it's 2 months from now, in June. Put on June 21st. You'll be in communication with your project manager on what this date will be as the job goes on and it changes. Next down is your original final completion date. So contract completion date. This is what was originally on the contract. So again, you can coordinate with this with your project manager. You can say, originally I was supposed to finish this job on June 28th. And then as the job goes on, there's clearly probably going to be some delays. So then we want to know what our current final completion date is. So we can go down here, again, go to our calendar, drop down, go to June. Let's say it went from the 28th to the 30th. We've now been pushed back 2 days. As the job goes on and as the job gets pushed back, because delays are inevitable, this is how we can keep track of how far off we are from our original completion date. And then we can look at that in conjunction with what is our turnover date. Next section down is weather. That is pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and put a description in there. Not always going to be sunny, but that's okay. Next section is your project activities. As you can see at the bottom of the list here, it says list and describe the daily job site activities. So if you want to, you can come in here and say, we poured our sidewalks today. That's great. And my roofer is almost complete, shooting for tomorrow, and so on. You can go ahead and put a handful of descriptions here. We just want to know what were the activities that went on your job site that day. Next section down is subcontractors. We want to know who's on your site and how many they have. So if you had your electricians and they had 4 people, and then you had your concrete guys and they had 6 people, and you had your plumbers and they had 1 guy. What you could do is, as we go along and fill these reports out every day, if there's ever a sub that's giving us some issues for hitting our completion dates on our schedule, they're consistently behind, we can go back at this daily report and see how big their crew is. Now here we wrote that there's only 1 guy with the plumber. That's clearly not okay, and we need them to bring more people, so we can justify asking them to increase their crew size by looking at our numbers on our daily reports. And that will help us be able to stay more consistent with hitting our milestones and completion dates for our schedule. Next section down is change in scope. Now if you notice, this does not have a little red asterisk next to it as these other sections do. That means it's not a required field to be filled out every day. These other ones are. You won't be able to submit the report without filling them out if they have a red star next to them. But this is just a place to document anything that did change. Maybe you were digging on the ground and found some pipes that weren't put on a plan, and we realize now we have to reroute where our gas is coming in from the street. That's a perfect example of putting something in here that was unforeseen, and it's going to trigger a change. Could be a change order, could be hiring a different sub, changing subs, any of those items. You can put anything in here. So I'm just going to put that we found gas line not on plans. Next section down is site visitors. This is basically anyone who is not a Corstone employee, who's not you or your subcontractors. So if your project manager shows up on the job, we want to know. Corstone PM on site today. And let's say you're on an AutoZone and your AutoZone regional manager showed up. You could say that too. Ivan on site today. Or you might have a city inspector come by to obviously do an inspection. We want to know that he's there too. So basically anyone who's not you and anyone who's not a subcontractor, we want to know. So go ahead and put that there. Next section down is your job photos. Now we've already done most of the legwork for this section of the report. So we're going to go ahead and click Add File. It's going to pop open a window here. And we're going to go to the same location that we chose to save our photos in out of our email. So let's go to Pictures. And I'm going to go to the folder I made, which is again Pictures. Yours will say Daily Pics. Then you're going to go to that folder that has today's date. And as the days go on every day, you'll have a folder for any date, which will help you stay organized. So if you needed to go back and look at pictures from a specific date, they'll be really easy to find. So we'll go inside here. And it's going to show me my 4 photos. So I'm going to click on this first one. Again, hold Shift on my keyboard and select the last photo. Now they're all highlighted. And we can go ahead and hit Open. And it's going to fill those out. You saw those yellow bars go by real quick. That's your computer loading the photos. Those yellow bars will probably take a longer time to load the photos out in the field on the jetpack. We have pretty fast internet here in the office, so they loaded real quick. But it'll probably take a little bit more time once you're in the field, and that's okay. As long as the yellow bars are gone, then you know the photo is loaded. The next to last section here is your schedule. Now this is not something that you'll need to upload every day, only if your project schedule for the job or your Excel schedule has changed. You can go ahead and click Browse wherever you have chosen to save your schedule. I'm just going to grab one here. It can be wherever you choose. You can grab your project schedule and hit Open. Now we've put that file here in the schedules, and now we're ready to submit. So now at the bottom you'll see 2 different sections. One is the Submit button. I'll show that to you in a second, but the other one is called Save and Resume Later. Now let's say you're in the middle of filling out your report and a sub comes running into your job trailer and needs your attention right now. Now since this is a web form and we don't want to lose all the progress we've done, we can save this and come back later. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to click Save. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate us a URL. Pardon me. It's thinking here. So it's going to give us this URL here. It says, please copy and save link below. You can use this from any computer within the next 1 day to resume filling the form out. So we're going to take our mouse, we're going to left click and hold the button down as we drag our cursor over the URL to highlight it. Then we can right click and go to copy. Then we can come down here to our start button and type in sticky, and it's going to bring up our sticky notes. So go ahead and click on that. It's going to give us here, it'll probably be blank for you, but if you had something typed in there, you can hit this plus sign. It's going to add a new sticky note, and then you can right click inside here and go paste. Now you've got your URL. So you could literally close this whole report. Or if your computer crashed or something happened, you came back from walking away from your report and it's magically gone. Well, if you saved it, it's not gone. So what we can do is we can go back to our report later, open up, oh, it's blank, I lost it. Well, if we go to our sticky note, go ahead and left click and hold on your mouse, drag over again, so you highlight it, right click, copy, go up to our URL bar, single click, it's going to highlight all of that. We want to right click and hit paste. It's going to replace that URL with the one that we have copied. Now you can hit enter on your keyboard, and it just brought back my whole report that I filled out earlier, which is great. That's what we want. We even have our uploads, our photos, and our project file, which is great. So now we're ready to submit. Let's go ahead and hit the submit button here, and now our computer's going to think. So don't If it doesn't happen instantly, that's okay. It may not go as quickly as mine just did, so go ahead and be patient, let it wait, and you want to wait till you get to this page. It's going to say thank you for your submission. If you get to this page, that is a good thing. That means your report went in. So we can go ahead and click the red X up here in the top corner, and we can close this. What's going to happen, I'm going to get rid of my sticky notes here. I don't need it. Is you're going to get a copy of this report in your email. And it should come through fairly quickly. What's going to happen is this report's also going to go to everyone that's on your project team. It's going to go to your project manager, it's going to go to your project coordinator, it's going to go to your estimator, and it's going to go to Jeff and Mark and myself. I may not have set myself up to receive my own report, so I'll just give you an example of what it's going to look like. It's going to come into your, oh, here it is. It came to my daily reports. I set this up specifically for me. If you would like your own daily report folder set up so your daily reports automatically go there as opposed to your general inbox, let me know and I can remote into your computer and set that up for you. Otherwise, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to get an email from Email Me Form, and it's going to say in the title whose report it is. So I get everyone's report every day, but for you, you'll just get yours. So I'll say your name, daily report, and it'll put the date. So if I go and click on that, it's going to show me the report that everybody gets. It's got all my photos, and I can scroll through them real quick here, which is nice. It's got my project file schedule, which I can open, and it has all my information that I filled out on my report. So that's your daily report. Again, feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to learn this process. If you have any questions or there's anything that I said in this video that didn't make sense, please let me know, and I would be glad to speak with you over the phone or in person, and we can figure out how to fill these reports out. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and happy filling out your reports.